Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today, Thursday, December 31st, 2020, final trading day of the year, and we're in the final trading hour of the day. So pretty special day today, isn't it? So last hour of the day is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades, because at the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they take the control of the price away from the day traders and algorithms. I consider them the smartest money, and that's why I feel that following what they do at the end of the day gives you a long-term edge in your trading. So thank you for coming, everybody. Last day of the year. Wow, what a year it's been, huh? From a trading perspective. I hope everybody has a really good 2021. I hope we make some good resolutions about maybe things we're going to change in our trading going forward. And speaking of that, I'm doing a podcast on Tuesday with Mike Lamott from the Traders Mind Chat show, and I think it's going to be good. We're going to talk about taking profits, offense, defense, playing offense and defense in with our trades, using trailing stops always and taking profits into strength as well. But that's going to be Tuesday, a half an hour after the market closes. So if you're here and you want to stick around for that, I'll share some information. So anyway, again, thank you for coming. Appreciate you hanging with me during the year, and I hope we all have a good year next year. So here's the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. I did have some day trades that I'm going to share with you also. Then we are going to go over to the board and take a look at your positions, see how those are doing over there. After that, we're going to talk the final time about trader psychology in 2020. So most important skill is discipline in trading, creating a plan, following a plan. So I always like to talk about that during the midway of the show. And after that, I have gone down through my watch list. I've gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I have 3 requirements whenever I look to enter a new trade. First requirement, I have to have a good confluence of signals on multiple time frames if possible. Secondly, I need to have a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. If I'm risking $100 based upon strong and solid support below me, I have to be able to make at least $200 based upon strong and likely resistance above me. And then number 3, always make sure you pay some attention to how many positions you have, how correlated they are, how much account heat you have, and also are you position sizing based upon the current volatility of the market. So I'm going to go down through the candidates that I've selected earlier in the day. We're going to go through them. I'm going to pick the very best one at the end of the day if it qualifies with the 3 requirements that I just mentioned. And if it does, I'll buy it before the close. And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at, please just put them in the chat, put an emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive, and I'll do my best to get to it. And then lastly, if you have any new additions or subtractions for me of your positions that are up on the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day after the market's closed before you tell me about them. And then that way I can stay focused and I can take care of everything when the market's closed and the pressure's off. Okay, so I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Hang tight, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks a lot. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look and see who is here today. And by the way, I am sorry. I thought the market closed early today. I was all in the mindset that it was going to be half a day. And then thank goodness for Kamal that let me know it was a full day. Otherwise, that could have been a disaster. So thank you, Kamal, as always, for everything. Lava74 is here. Good to see you, Lava. Dan is here. Happy New Year's, Greg, and everyone. It's been a privilege spending this time with you and learning from all such great ones. Thank you, Dan. Privileged to have you here. I really mean that. Brian is here. Hey, Brian. Brian says, Happy New Year's Eve and Happy New Year's to those living in 2021 right now. That's right. Some people are already there. Good to see you, Brian. Quad is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Good chatting with you earlier. John is here. Good to see you. John says, I've been here since noon. Where is everyone? Just kidding. Happy New Year's. STX looks good a couple hours ago. Not sure now. Well, it's definitely had a bounce, but it has a V2, but it's no sideways motion. It's really strong move down, move back up into big downward pressure. So that's what I don't like about it. I'd much rather see it move sideways, have some consolidation before it had a V1 or a V2. Kamal is here. Hey, bud. Good to see you. Thanks again for letting me know about that we did not have a short day today. Happy New Year to you as well. Miko, hey. Happy New Year's wishes to Greg and the group. Happy New Year's wishes to you, Miko. Thank you very much. Brian says, I have two requests. One, be thankful for being able to make money during this difficult time. Two, give to those in need and less fortunate than you. So many are suffering, grieving, and hungry. I 100% agree. I think that's great advice, Brian. Jatson says, hello, good afternoon, sir, and Happy New Year's Eve. Thank you, Jatson. Happy New Year's Eve to you. Frank is here. Hey, buddy, good to see you, Frank. Always a privilege to have you here. Johnson is here. Happy New Year's all. Happy New Year's to you as well, Johnson. Thank you for coming by. All right. Well, let's take a look. All right. So I've had some day trades today. They clutter up the chart. So I'm going to start with advanced micro devices. I have a day trade and a swing trade. And let me show you what I was doing with advanced micro devices earlier. Okay. And then we'll go to the swing trade. I bought advanced micro devices this morning. We closed above the 200. We came back down. We closed back above the 200. So it's a higher low close above the 200. I bought it here, 91.47. Moved my way immediately. I took some profit here on this big up bar at 91.96. Then I had a close below the previous day's low at 91.83. At this point, I only had a quarter of the position left, and I was just going to kind of free roll with that one. And but that last quarter did come back and close below the 200, which was my stop. Still a profitable trade though, because I bought here 91.47, sold half of what I had at 91.83, sold another half here at 91.96, and then that last quarter did then end up being a little bit of a loss, but profits on 3 quarters, loss on a quarter. So that's why I always like to take profits when the market gives me, we have these kind of big upspurt bars. It's very important to me, and it's a big part of my trading. All right, now let's go to the swing trade. All right, so Steve, Yas, Pat, David, and myself, we all bought advanced micro devices with the nice V2, the nice 520 crossover. My stop was a close below halfway of the washout bar. And look at today, it got literally bounced off it to the penny. That's why the halfway of the washout bar is an important level. So down 0.72% on the day, but it is holding my stop loss, so I will be keeping this trade. Target, Brian, Johan, Ava, and Karen, and I bought this target here at 171.64. Nice pullback to value, sideways motion, V2 entry. It's moved up really nice since we bought it. up. It got more than 1.5 ATRs away from entry. Yesterday, I had a close below the previous day's low, so I took half of my position off, but kept the other half. And I'm glad I did, because I hit 2 profit targets today. It's up 1.11%, 175.09 and 176.30. McDonald's. Oh, this was looking so good for quad, and I shorted here at 212.67, rejection of the 50 RSI, rejection of 50 EMA. SMA, V1 to the downside. Yesterday it went down, didn't hit a profit target. Today it was even down, and now it's rallied very, very strong. So it is closing above my stop loss. The stop loss is halfway of the negative washout bar. So unless this closes below 213.90, I will have to get out with the loss on this. Congratulations to Quad. Quad covered this earlier when he still had some profit. So good job, Quad, but I am going to have to take the loss on this short. ULTA. I bought ULTA here, 277.95, half a position. Nice breakout of this fractal point plus the 520 crossover. It's moved up nicely ever since I bought it. It is up 1.58% today, and I did hit 1 profit target at 286.69. JD. All right, I'm the only one in JD. I bought JD here, 86.24. Nice V2. It was up nice yesterday, hit some profit targets. Today it's down 2.17%, but has I am going to keep this. It hasn't closed below the previous day's low. It's an inside bar, so I will keep this. SPY, of course, I buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I sell it first thing the next morning. Sorry, give me 1 second, please. This was kind of a nothing burger, small loss. I did buy it at 371.99 yesterday at the close. I sold it at 371.85, so lost 19 cents on the overnight SPY trade. And but listen, it's worked out positively this year. I didn't think it was going to, but somehow, some miracle, it did make a profit for the year, which I'm glad. So I will be buying this again, holding it over the long weekend, and selling it first thing on the first trading day of 2001. USO. I did buy USO here at 30.97. It is currently 33.01. It's up 6.18%. I bought this on the monthly bars. Longer term trade here with a under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, and a V2. So did not hit a profit target this month, so I'll readjust profit targets now that this month is over. But that's been a good trade so far. Google. I do not have a position, a regular directional position, but I did sell puts on Google down at $1,170, expiring June. So a lot of protection to the downside. It does pay a nice premium. I picked the 170 because it dovetails with the 50-month moving average and the -1 ATR channel above it as support. And then also on the weekly, I picked the 1170 because of the 200-week moving average above it. So this one up today, and it's up on the trade so far. Alibaba. Okay, I did have some trades on Alibaba that I will show you. Where do we go? Here we go. I did buy Alibaba. That was the only trade I had? Yeah, that was the only one on Alibaba. So I did buy Alibaba here, intra-bar with this nice false breakout to the downside and a V2, under 30, over 30, nice confluence. I bought it here at 231.35. The next bar, it moved up strong. I took half profits at 232.08. Moved sideways, had another big, huge up bar. I took profits again at 232.65, and then I got out of all of it here at 232.36 when it lost the 50 SMA. So I got in at 231.35, out at 232.08, out at 232.36 and out at 232.65. And then I also have a put position on Alibaba. I sold the $130 strike prices down here expiring June 16th. So I have about 40% protection, pays about 4.5% annualized return, and that is nicely in the money as well. And then lastly, Apple, I did have 2-day trades on Apple, both of them small losers, but nonetheless losers. I bought here, false breakout to the downside, V2. I bought at 132.54, initially went my way. Got stopped out at 132.41. So I lost 13 cents on that trade. And then ironically, I don't think this has ever happened to me before. I took this higher low V2 literally at the same price, 132.54. Same as this trade, moved up, came back down. I got out 1 penny higher than, I think I got out at 132.42. So 2 trades, almost exactly the entry and the exit, but small trades, right? 12 cents, 13 cent losses. So I had 4 day trades today, 2 winners, 2 losers, but the 2 winners were much larger than the losers. So it ends up being a positive day trade day for me. All right. So now I know someone has Apple. All right, we have Jathan in at 123. It's 137.98, and we also have Frank in at 111. So he has ridden that from 111 up to 132.96, almost 133. So congratulations, Frank. That is outstanding. Let me take care of something here. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, give me a sec. All right. Now, did I cover everything? Yes, I did. VIX. We have Quad and Gary in VIX. Quad got in at 1991. It's 1666, so it's down quite a bit. Gary got in at 1718. He sold half when the market gave him something to want to take, which I'm glad he did, because it came all the way back down, rallied, and then now it is down again. So not sure if Gary's net positive on the trade. I believe he probably is, depending where he sold here. And I know Quad is down on the trade, right, Quad? All right, MasterCard. We have Johnson bought MasterCard. Beautiful pullback to value. Nice V2 entry, 335.68. Look at this beautiful trade Johnson's had. Fantastic. That is up 5.75%. So beautiful trade, Johnson. Microsoft. Yas bought Microsoft here at 213.82. It's 221.46, down a little bit, but up on the trade. And he only has a third left, so he scaled up here at higher levels. Ollie, Johnson bought Ollie at 79.50, moved up nice. It was a nice trade. It is down 1.61% today. Looks like we're closing below previous day's low, but Johnson is definitely still up on the trade. Beyond Meat. Kamal bought Beyond Meat yesterday at 126, and then he let me know earlier that he had hit his stop loss. So that one is out, but good trade, Kamal, and congratulations for sticking to your trade plan. Tesla. Jatson bought Tesla at 639.90. It's currently 701.45, up 0.94% today and nicely up on the trade. PTON. Yas bought PTON at 115.97. It is 152.24. It is down a little bit today, but Yas is up 23.86%. That is impressive. FSLR, Yas again, bought at 90.98. It's 99.95. Nicely up on the trade, a little down on the day, however. DocuSign, Yas bought at 224.12 with a 1030 EMA crossover. I know he sold into some of this strength. He only has a third left, so I'm glad to see that he got rid of 2/3 up in profitable levels, because now it is slightly down on the trade, but only with the third. So I'm sure he's still up on the trade. ALGN. Jatson's had a beautiful trade. He bought here at 441, and it is currently 533. He sold half here at 521.90. It's now 533.22. So from entry to current close, up 17.4%. Very, very impressive. NIO. Here's the trade I missed out on because of my dang charts. I would have bought this trade. It's a beautiful higher low V1 at 46.10. Moved up beautifully yesterday. It was up higher today. It's given some back. Frank's in at 46.16. So both Yas and Frank are nicely up on the trade. Teladoc. Frank bought Teladoc here at 182. It is 198.65. So down today, but Frank is up 8.09% roughly. NEE, Johan, nice trade on NEE at 74.70. It's up 0.97% today. This has just moved up nicely since he's bought it. And Johan is up 2.53%. Very nice, Johan. Facebook finally went positive. It was negative. Jatin is in at 280.97. Currently, Facebook's down 6 cents. So it is down on the day, and it is down on the trade as well. Workhorse, let's see. Quad and Yas got into Workhorse. I know Quad got out earlier with his stop loss. So I'll take Quad off of there now. I don't know about Yas, so he'll have to let me know when the market's closed. But that is down 6.82% today. Ugh, boy. AN, Frank bought AN at 66.88. It's 70.25. It's up 0.77% today. Frank is up 4.8% roughly on that. Very nice, Frank. SWI, Kamal stop loss got hit at 14.72. All right. Good trade, Kamal, following your rules. Very good. IAU, I know that's Frank. Frank is in at 17.54. It's currently 18.11. So it's up nice on the day, and Frank is up 3.09%. I have a note here that he sold half, so nice job there. And lastly, the Qs. Jatin got in the Qs at 308.80. It's 313.02. It is up today, slightly up 6 cents, and he is up 1.38%. So congratulations, Jatin. So I think that covers them all. Whew. Steve Burns says, Happy New Year's. Good to see you, Steve. Honor and privilege to have you here, sir. And thank you for supporting this channel all year long and popping your head in here. And I really appreciate it. I'm sure everyone else does. It's a real honor, and I never take it for granted. And Happy New Year's to you and Holly and the dogs. Steve says, AMD currently has a 520 EMA cross under that will stop me back out today. So Steve, stop is the 520 cross under on AMD, so he'll be taking that off. I think I am going to keep it because it did hold my stop level. But, you know, just different approaches. People use different things. Ranger Trader, what's going on, bud? Hey, thanks for that nice Twitter post, Ranger. Appreciate that. And just a little plug for Ranger. Ranger_Trader on Twitter. Go subscribe to his channel. He's one of the best guys you'll ever meet. Former student of mine. Super impressive. If you want something done, Ranger Trader will get it done. I fully believe that. If you needed help and you needed some Rambo to come on by and get you, you would want to call Ranger Trader because he would get it done. But happy New Year's, Greg, and all. Thank you, bud. Happy New Year's to you and for you and your family. And Hope you have a really good coming year. Pat is here. Hi, everyone. Pat says, Happy New Year's. Hey, Pat, good to see you. I'm looking forward to our lesson on Monday. Pat has been an excellent, excellent student. And yeah, so that will be our number 4 lesson. But good to see you, Pat. Hope you're doing well. Frank has a poem for us. This should be a good one. A trader's new year is filled with hope, not fear. It's a time to reflect with thoughts that are clear. As we stare at the charts that we come upon, we see too, they reflect how time marches on. Oh, I knew that was going to be a good one from Frank today. I just knew it, and I am not disappointed because that was outstanding. Every poem that Frank has is outstanding. A trader's new year is filled with hope, not fear. It's a time to reflect with thoughts that are clear. As we stare at the charts that we come upon, we see too, they reflect how time marches on. Man, poignant. Really great, Frank. Let's put our hands together for Frank for the end of the year poem. Outstanding. David is here. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you and the family and the shoulder is doing well. Quad says, Greg, I got it in 1940, not 1991. Okay. Let's change it then. 1940. Boom and boom. Done and done. Well, that's good. That's a 50 cents difference. That does make a difference. Quad says, but yes, I am down on the trade overall. Ranger says, you're too kind, sir. No, I'm not. Just honest, buddy. Just honest. Frank says, thank you, Greg. You are welcome, Frank. Really good stuff. Just fantastic stuff. All right, let me take a little look-see over here. So AMD is still holding halfway the washout bar for me, so that will be a keeper as long as it does. TGT doing fine, up nicely on the trade, 2 profit targets today. McDonald's, that's my one stinker today. Looks like I almost definitely will have to get out of this with the stop above my a close above my stop of 13.90 on the short. It's 214.57. So yep, that one got me. ULTA is doing great. Hit 1 profit target, maybe 2 profit targets today. That would be nice. JD is up, but inside bar, I will be keeping it. Of course, buying SPY at the close. And then Google is I sold puts. Baba, I sold puts. And Apple, I don't have. That was a day trade. Okay. Well, listen, it is that time. We are going to do a little bit on trader psychology. And of course, my favorite poster of all times, Stephen Burns, my friend, my mentor, my coach, for all these years. Thank you, Steve, for everything. I've learned a ton from you, and I really, really appreciate it. And I'm sure a bunch of us have learned a lot from Steve on his blog posts, his posting on Twitter and Facebook, all of his books. And, you know, if you haven't read Steve Burns' books, just go to Amazon, type in Steve Burns, and he's got so many great books. I've listened to them all many, many times, so it's always a big thrill. But let's see what Steve has to say today on this final day of the year. And of course, Steve's at Steve Burns or at S. Joseph Burns, or just Steve Burns on Twitter. A trading edge can be as simple as edge-defined entries, exits, and position sizing that leads to bigger wins than losses. An edge is an advantage over other traders in backtesting, trend following, discipline, or emotional self-control. You make money when they lose money. You ever think about that? When you make money, you made it from somebody else that lost it, right? So how do you get an edge? Like Steve says, you have to have defined entries and exits. You have to know when you get in a trade, where am I going to get in? Where am I going to get out? You have to position size, extremely important that you have to position size using current volatility, in my opinion, so that your entries, exits, position sizing, risk to reward can lead to bigger wins than losses. It's just like with my day trades today. I had 4 day trades. I was 50% winning percentage, but my winnings on the 2 that I won on were much larger than the small losses that I took. So it's a really good example of having a 50-50 win rate, but still being positive. And, I had a very defined exits, very defined entries, very defined exits. I position sized. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I had if-then statements. If it does this, I'm going to do that. If it does that, I am going to do this, right? So, but an edge is an advantage over other traders in backtesting, trend following, discipline, or emotional self-control. I mean, you can probably just imagine how many people out there that are trading that have no plan. They've never back tested anything. They don't have probably a valid trading approach, and they have no self-control. I hate to say it to you, but those are the people that you are making money from. The people without a plan. Don't have a plan, lose money. People with a plan, they're going to take the other people's money. That's just really how it is. So anyway, thanks again, Steve, for everything. Appreciate you, really do. And thanks for this post, but let's just all remember we need a plan, right? Need a plan. We need to know where we're going to get in, get out. We need a position size, right? We have to have good risk to reward ratios, and we have to have discipline and emotional self-control. So that is that. Kamal says, nice one, Frank. I agree. Pat says, nice poem, Frank. I think it's outstanding. Thank you, Pat. Kamal, Happy New Year. All right, what's the market doing here? So the Dow's up 138. NASDAQ's still in the red. Interesting. And the S&P is up 15. Just wondering, does anyone have any New Year's resolutions as far as trading goes? The podcast that I'm going to do this coming Monday, we are going to talk about New Year's resolutions. And I hope you can come to that webinar. It's a webinar, so it's interactive. It's kind of like this. And like I said, I'll post the link. But, if you can think about some New Year's trading resolutions that might be helpful for other people, if they're on top of your mind right now, you can put them in here. But my New Year's resolution for trading is I'm going to trade a bit larger, but I am going to be even more careful in my trade selections. So I'm going to use a little bit of a larger position size, but I'm going to be twice as selective in my positions. I've been thinking about that for the last couple weeks, and that's really what I've come up with. And I'm going to trade even more time frames. More monthly time frames, more weekly time frames, and I'm probably even going to trade some different time frames on intraday trading, right? I usually just trade the 5-minute. I'm probably also going to incorporate the idea of diversifying over time frames, trading some 5-minute bars, also trading some 39-minute setups as well. So I want to get even more diversified on my time frames all the way through the whole spectrum. Jatson says, one simple resolution, price is God and never fight with it. I agree. Don't fight with the price. 100%. The price means everything. I was with one of my students last night, and he says, if there is some kind of news story surrounding a stock, are you still going to trade it, or will you just let it pass on it? And I said, no, I will trade it. 100% I will trade it. Not earnings, obviously. But price is really all that matters when it comes down to it. All the spin that you get from news and articles written about stocks, it's all spin. That's the great thing about the stock market. When people bet their money on something, there is no spin to it. They put it on something that they think is going to go up or go down, regardless of what the news cycle is or the news narrative is around it. Frank is mine is trade less, make more so that I can give more. That's perfect. Frank's so good with words. He just writes a sentence. I don't know if it's like a nice poem or if it was just him speaking. It just flows out of him naturally. Mine is trade less, make more so that I can give more. Dave says, Greg, if you are looking at having bigger trades, it means you are going to go up on the amount that you are willing to risk based upon your position size. That's correct. My position size is pretty small, Dave. You know, I risk about 1/4% of my trading capital for my emergency loss on any one trade. You know, a good rule of thumb is 1%. So I'm going to increase my position size, my maximum allowed loss from 1/4% to 0.5%. But yes, you're right. I mean, you know, the drawdowns will be larger because the position size is a bit bigger, but still 0.5% position size in the in the large picture context is still pretty dang conservative. Johnson says, not entering bullish view trades above value zone. Excellent. I mean, that's a very direct, very precise one. I 100% agree. You know, we want to buy in the value zone. We want to sell above the value zone. We don't want to. A lot of people buy above the value zone, and then when it comes back down to value, that they hit their stop and they get out, and then they see it take right off again. It's just how it goes. Happens all the time. All right, give me 1 second, please. $39.87. All right, just give me a sec. Okay. Well, AMD is still holding that stop. McDonald's still kicking my butt, but I'm waiting until the end of the day. And Baba. Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Let's start taking a look at some potentials here. Walgreens looks pretty good here. I have to say, we have a false breakout to the downside from this low over here today. We rejected the 50-day moving average. We had sideways motion. We have a bullish engulfing bar, and we have a close over the 200-day moving average. That's all pretty good stuff. That's all pretty good stuff. Gives me a very good distinct stop with the 200-day moving average. So let's take a look over on the weekly. Weekly, we moved up. We've had a pullback. We have found support at the 10 and the 20 SMA or EMA on the weekly. So I do quite like it. I do quite like it. False breakout to the downside, rejection of the 50-day moving average, rejection of the 200, back in the value zone. It's almost a 50 RSI, but when I take, when I take a close under, close back over the 200, I don't consider the 50 RSI with the deep dip buy off of the 200. So my stop would just be right here, essentially. So it gives me a pretty good risk to reward ratio. A lot of good volume, strong volume that came in today. That could just be end of year buying, so forth. But I do quite like WBA today because it's a very well-defined risk. I like the increased volume and the combination and confluence of indicators going on here. FedEx, FedEx, interestingly enough, is at a confluence, a pretty interesting confluence that happens when you have the 100-day SMA at the same time you have the 30 RSI. And that's exactly what's happening. We are stuck right at the 100-day moving average, and we are holding above the 30 RSI. I wish there was more of a washout of the 30 and of the 100 and a stronger close back over and some more volume. I don't see it. So that's a little concerning to me. So I still like WBA better. EQIX has a nice higher low V2, but it only has traded 80,000 shares. So with that being said, I'm going to have to take that one off because that's some possible liquidity problems. TMO, Thermo Fisher Scientific. Somebody else was trading this a while back. It is a higher low V1. MACD looks like it's close to crossing. We are over the 50 RSI. But, you know, we came into the value zone. We never washed out any lows, and technically, you know, we're lower and lower than here. I'd like to see one of the lows washed out, kind of a washout, before I would buy this. So I think I'm going to let TMO go as well. WAB into the value zone, up. Now we have closed below the -1 ATR channel. So this really, yeah, there's really no V1 there, anything. So I'm going to let that one go as well. Sherwin-Williams closed below the -1 ATR channel, came in, higher low here, another higher low. We've really had issues with this 1 ATR channel above, so that is a bit concerning, and it's only traded 78,000 shares, so I am going to let that one go also. NBIX, we were above the value zone, we came into the value zone, we moved sideways, then we kept going down. We really have only had 1 day sideways, so this one does not qualify for me. Only 1 day sideways here. MKC, it's overextended. Chipotle had a nice pullback to value in a V1. You know, these happen to me a lot when I don't take these. I mean, it is a V1, there is no doubt, but there was really no sideways motion. It was just down, down, then a V1. Better than just nothing, I can assure you that, but doesn't really qualify for me because there's no sideways motion. Man, Intel was so weak and came roaring back. Has a 520 crossover today. I don't think I'm gonna buy Intel. You know, we had the huge sell-off here, the huge big buy up there, but I think there's better risk to rewards than Intel, especially after this big move we've already had. GLID, big bar up, and sideways motion, but I feel like it's chasey at this point. I would rather see this maybe go a little bit higher into the value zone, then have a couple days pullback, and then look for a higher low V1. These lower lows tend to bounce, but then they fail. You're better off buying a higher low V1. You have a better chance of a longer up move. Merck, it's a decent higher low V1. I mean, I have to say, we did close below the -1 ATR channel. We did rally back in this. Let's see, the close here is 81.42. 81.42 is right there. And it is technically a V1, and MACD did go positive. That one's not too bad. I'm going to put that one over here. Delta Airlines, closed below the -1 ATR channel, back in, but no real signal. TLND, big strong move today, but I feel like it's chasey. You'd be better off here with, you know, rejection of the 200 with a smaller risk to reward ratio. Now you have a big risk if you're using the 200. So I would like to see a couple days pullback, and again, look for a higher low V1 or V2. Oh, and TMO is the one that didn't have enough. Yeah. So currently, I like WBA, which is Walgreens. This one makes the most sense. I like the sideways motion, the bullish engulfing bar, the rejection of the 50-day moving average, the close over the 200-day moving average, and then also Merck is pretty good. Let's take a look at the weekly on Merck. I still like WB. Now, it is the end of the week, and I was looking at some potential end of week trades, and you know, one of the best one that I can come up with right at the moment is Alibaba to the short side. We had the big down move on really high volume. We did rally up. We did reject the 50-week moving average. So I am considering shorting Alibaba here. My stop would be a close back over the 50, any close back over, or my emergency stop. But again, this is a weekly, so I would take my maximum allowed loss, divide the average true range of the weekly, which is a very high number, which would give me a smaller amount of shares. So that is on my radar also. Oops. Johnson says not in. Oh, we read that one. Being able to get out at entry point if his stock has a reversal. Yeah, that's it. That's a big skill. Being able to take a scratch trade. I think that would be a good goal. Brian says TMO was one of my many stocks you occasionally erased off the board. Sorry, Brian. Sorry, buddy. I know. I seem to have always done it to Brian. I don't know why. I think, Brian, because at one point you had a lot of positions, so I think just statistically I was more likely. Yeah, Southwest, not too bad. Not too bad at all, Kamal. Closed below the -1 ATR channel, rallied into the value zone, false break. Yeah, I kind of like that, actually. I kind of do. It's over the 50 RSI. The 20-day moving average gives a really good halfway of the washout bar close there. Stop. Yeah, that's quite good. That is quite good. Johnson says WBA recent history looks like bouncing from the -3rd ATR channel. My third ATR is right down here, Johnson. Are you talking about this 50? Is that what you're saying? Maybe the third ATR channel, but the third ATR channel is down here about $2 lower. David is below the 50 RSI. Yes, I do. I am aware of that, Dave, but because it's a close under and over the 200, I'm not going to factor the 50 RSI in. I'm going to just factor in the 200-day as support underneath. Like on an under 30, over 30, or a regular V1, V2, yes, I do always use the 50. But on this particular one, I probably would not, because it's just a close under and over the 200. And I like the volume as well. And Keely's over there dreaming up, snoring up a storm. All right, so I think I'm going to have to swallow my medicine and just get out of McDonald's. Started off so good yesterday. Okay, I'm out of Mickey D's. I was not loving it. AMD is still holding halfway of the washout bar, so that is a hold. TGT is doing fine. I just got out of McDonald's. ULTA is doing great. Of course, I'm buying SPY at the close. So I did like Kamal Southwest Airlines down there as well. So WBA I like. Merck, I think I'm going to let that one pass. I'm concerned about this bar over here. Alibaba, I am going to short that. I am going to short that on the weekly. My close will be a close back above the 50-week EMA. I think there's a good chance we could go back down, test the 100-day moving average here, or even possibly the 200. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to short Alibaba on the weekly. So I'll make my decision what to do with Alibaba next Friday. Okay. So I did short Alibaba, and then WBA. All right, so I'll give that a few minutes before I buy WBA. Steve says, I'm looking to increase my watch list with more names. That sounds like a good plan as well, for sure. David says WBA is below the 50. Yep. Jackson says Dow is in a madness zone right now. So Dow's up 192 points. The NASDAQ went positive as well. So I'm going to put BABA here and WBA here as well. Let me take a look at the intraday bar here on Walgreens. So down a little bit. Ooh. All right, so we have about 4 minutes. I'm just going to wait a little closer to the end before I buy WBA. All right, so McDonald's is off the board. That was not fun. AMD keeping. 5 minutes to go. Well, at least I'm getting a little better price on Walgreens and back in the value zone when I do eventually buy it. Steve said he exited AMD with a 1.02% loss. Steve says, I'm back to all cash, waiting for new entry signals. Okay, sounds good. It's a good place to be for New Year's Eve, right, Steve? Four minutes to go. Microsoft making a new high on the day. All right, so I'm just going to queue up my WBA. Although I tell you what, if we lose this -1 ATR channel, I will pass on WBA. I don't know if we're going to or not, but if we do, that would be a bad sign. All right, minute and a half to go. All right. Gonna go ahead and pull the trigger here on WBA. And buy the SPY at the close. That's it. And AMD is fine. The market has closed for the year. Can you believe it? Holy smokes. Wow, what a year. And we're done with the year. Unreal. Unreal. Well, let's take a look, see where I bought all this good stuff. So SPY, I bought at 373.88. WBA, I bought at 39.86, And Baba, I shorted at 231.76 on the weekly. So SPY. $373.88. Is that right? $373.88 was my fill price. Well, good. Good. WBA. My fill price was $39.86. Come on now. There we go. And Alibaba on the weekly. So now I have a short position and a long position on Alibaba. I have puts that I sold to 130, and I also am short, but on the weekly. So let's do it over here at 231.76. Oh, that was a bad fill. And I'll make this red as my short. And that's it. That's what we've got going into the end of the year. So if you have any new positions for me, please put them in the chat for the last time of the year, and we'll get them all updated. Just real quick, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I think I teach a really good course. It's 15 hours total, 5 sessions, 3 hours each. And, you know, if you've been thinking about it, you know, I think it's a good investment in yourself at the beginning of the year. I know you'll be a better trader after you've taken the course. I am sure of that. So, you know, if you're interested, you can send me an email. Email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. And if you do, I'll reply and say, hey, thanks for saying hi. Let's set up a Skype call. Just a quick call for me to ask you some questions about your trading and your goals, your challenges, and you can ask me any questions about the course. And then, you know, after we're done with the Skype call, you can think about it. And in the future, if you know, you liked what was said and you feel good about it, then you can just always email me back and say, yep, let's set up the course. All right. And I love to teach. I think I'm pretty good at it. So I think you'll enjoy it. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I would certainly appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. If you found this course or this podcast helpful over the last year, I would also appreciate if you could hit the thumbs up button. It just helps build the channel, keeps the channel around, all that good stuff. So anyway, thanks for that. Let's see. All right. Okay, so Steve is out of AMD and back in cash. Good place to be, Steve. Kamal is out of SWI. I think I took that one off already, right? Yeah. And Beyond Meat. And in Love. I liked Love. I like that. I like that setup. All right. Higher low V1. Sideways motion there to boot. All right. So let's put Kamal in there like so. Oh, 46.56. I didn't want to cheat you there by 3 cents. WBA market on close. Okay. And by the way, on my charts here, I show earnings on the 7th of January. So let's see, we come back on the 4th. So be able to hold it a few days. But I will not hold the earnings, obviously. Bob says, I am long AMC. Okay. Is that the movie theaters? AMC. 210. Well, you're in the money already. 210. And that is Bob. But tell Greg it's a rejection of the negative third ATR channel under over 30 RSI dip, and as a hedge, I'm also long the VIX. Okay. Yeah, it is a rejection of the negative third and the 30 RSI. You are right. And you're also long VIX. All right. Bob M. Jackson says, sir, I've been on this channel very late this year, but I've got some real good trading lessons. Can't thank you enough for that. You have a great and profitable new year, and God bless you. Thank you, Jatin. Jatin always has the kindest words. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, and I hope all of that for you as well. Johnson is out of Ollie. All right. Well, that was profitable, so that's good. Out of MasterCard. That was a nice trade. Nice trade, Johnson. Oh, and your put spreads expired positively as well. Sorry, I forgot to go over those. You got those as well. Very nice. Oh, I think I forgot to mention Gary's credit spreads, 290s, expiring January 15th. So those are looking good for him as well. Out of half Ulta. Where did my... All right, good. Very nice. That's been a good trade for us. Oh, and the overnight SPY trade, huh? All right. David says, Happy New Year's, Greg and group. Thanks for everything you do for us through the year. You are certainly welcome, Dave. Hope you have a nice evening tonight, and I hope everybody just has a, a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. And, let's think about some trading resolutions, and let's get them going next Monday, right? And let's stick with them. Ranger says, discovering you and taking your course was a blessing to me, Greg. I wish you and everyone in here continued success, my friend. Here's the 2021. Thanks, Ranger Trader. I appreciate that, Jesse. And it was an honor meeting you and an honor teaching you, and just really great to, have you, and I consider you a friend. So thank you, bud. Thank you very, very much. All right. So I think that is it. So a friend of mine, he and his girlfriend, they have 2 little dogs, and they said, Greg, we need to go somewhere. Could you please watch them at least for the day for us? I'm like, yeah. So I will have 2 other little stranger dogs who I don't know these dogs, and then I'll have little Keely over here. So looks like I'll have 3 dogs tomorrow for maybe a day or 2. So that should be interesting. All right, let's go. What's going on? Here, I will post this link. Here, I'll try to post it right now for what it's worth. I'll post it again. Let's see if I know how to do this. If YouTube will even let me do it. Oh, yeah. So there's the link. There's Katie and I. Here's Mike Lamott. But so this is the topic: when to sell, keys in mastering offense and defense when selling stock. And this is the Trader's Mind Chat Show, and he's at Mara Wealth on Twitter, and he wrote the Mara book, which I read it in anticipation for this. But anyway, he talks a little bit about me, and we're going to talk about risk in general, risk to reward, position sizing based upon market volatility, playing offense and defense with your trades, scaling out on strength, reducing position size on weakness, and trading multiple time frames. So that's going to be Tuesday right after the market closes. So actually, I'm going to have to get off when the market closes. I'm going to have to get off pretty quick to get ready for that. So let's see. Lova says, thank you every day. I enjoy attending this class each day. Thank you, Lova. Appreciate that, bud. Let's see. What's going on after hours? Anthony says, what is considered a good percentage gain for the year? You know, somewhere between 12 and 18%. That's always my goal. You know, that's subjective. Some people might think that wasn't good. Some people would think it was really good. So let's see. AMD is down 8 cents. Alibaba is down 19 cents. SPY's up 20 cents. So not a lot going on. All right. Bob says, I'm sure the rest of you got the humor in my last comment. It was lost on Greg. Happy New Year's, everyone. See you next year. What did I miss? Just a little goodbye 2020 wager, but tell Greg it's a rejection of the negative third ATR, and as a hedge, I'm also long the VIX. What am I missing, Bob? Now it sounds funny, but I'm not getting it. Miko says, Greg, thanks for your mentoring and guidance, providing a solid platform during this turbulent year. Looking forward to joining you in the 2021 journey. Thank you, Miko. Appreciate that. Pat says, thank you, Greg. I'm enjoying your course immensely. Also, this channel is full of smart, fantastic people to learn from. Everyone have a wonderful and safe New Year. Thank you, Pat. And I will speak with you on Monday, right? All right. Well, I guess I didn't get the humor in Bob's comment, which is a bummer because I like funny things. Just a little goodbye 2020 wager, but tell Greg it's a rejection of the negative 30 ATR till under over 30 RSI dip. And as a hedge, I'm also long the VIX. All right. I guess I don't get it. Happy New Year, everyone. Hey, Karen, good to see you. All the best for 21. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Hope you and the pups are all doing well. I hope you have a good New Year's as well. All right. Well, remember, please try to go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile, a wave, a hello. Just be pleasant. You know, always try to do one nice thing each day for another human being. And also, please try to go out and do something nice each day for an animal. Even if you just say hello to the animal while you're walking by. They like that, right? But one nice thing for a human, one nice thing for an animal. And if we all did that every day, the world would just be a better place. I'm sure of it. So, all right. Well, that's it. I'm going to go out. I'm going to take little Keely on a little walk. And I'm not quite sure what I'm doing tonight, but I'm sure I'll do something. So thanks again for coming, everyone. Really appreciate it. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Have fun if you're going to a party tonight, but drive safe and all that kind of stuff, right? All right. Take care, everyone, and see you on Monday. Talk to you later now. Have a good weekend. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.